Hi, I'm Jeanne Fiorini, and you are in the Tarot Tips. Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to follow up on the previous video where we talked about the Six of Swords and the Eight of Cups. Today we're going to talk about the Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups, which, like many of these cards that we're looking at in tandem, have a lot of similarities, and I think these two in particular, but there are significant differences here and important ones. So I'm glad to be able to have a chance to talk about these two cards today. So Five of Cups, Eight of Cups, let's go to the tarot table. Okay, here are our subjects for today. Now certainly right off the bat we can see some things that these cards have in common. Both of them are somewhat dark cards, literally, not figuratively, well, they are figuratively dark, but the coloring on these two cards is normally in heavy, serious tones. There is a sense of, people have hunched backs. We're not seeing anybody's face. We have a sense of being cloaked and kind of hiding away from the world a little bit. In this instance, both cards are cup cards. So you might say, well, why do we have the Five of Cups and then a very, very similar card, Eight of Cups? Because both of them show regret. There's some sorrow in each card and a certain heaviness. And in the emotional realm, in the cup realm. The real important difference here is that the Eight of Cups is motivated by intention, which we indicated in the last video, that the red cloak and the red boots indicate that this person is walking away from the cups by his or her own will. The Five of Cups is more of a victim place, and I don't say that with criticism. The Five of Cups is the place where we find ourselves sad, hurt, maybe betrayed, maybe stabbed in the back, maybe let down in ways we never expected. So I don't use the term victim in a critical way. The Eight of Cups is not a victim. This is a person who has decided to take themselves out of a situation. The Five of Cups is the place where we are in the midst of suffering. The cups here and the cups here, we are standing right in the middle. Now let's talk about direction. The Five of Cups is looking toward the past. We used to get along so well. I used to love my job. I used to think ballet was going to be my life. Whatever it was. The focus is on not only what's been lost, but what happened in the past. Now again, that's not a bad thing. I think sometimes, especially in Western culture, we gloss over the mourning period. We tend to say, oh, just snap out of it, when really attention needs to be paid to what we've lost, to what was in the past that's gone, that is no longer. So the Five of Cups isn't a happy card, but it is a necessary card of recognizing what's been lost, recognizing what is no longer a part of your life, so that you can move ahead eventually in the future. This is 5, so we're right in the middle here. We're right in the middle between the 1 and the 10. So the focus is on the past. The other thing that's going on here is that there is no movement. The person in the Five of Cups really is like a pillar. We could almost picture this like a Doric column. And it has similarities to the Hermit card. Just visually, the posture, the way the cloak and the robe is sort of treated, just this very vertical, I'm not going anywhere kind of feeling. I'm just I'm in the midst of feeling the emotional pain here. So certainly we can get stuck in there, but you know, intrinsically the Five of Cups indicates an unhappy situation, but it's not necessarily, you could say, a bad card. Let's see, the thing that's happening in the 8, two things that are in direct contrast there. Moving in the opposite direction, moving toward the future. I can't stack these cups anymore. I have to find a new place for emotional satisfaction. I'm not going to get what I want and need out of this. So I'm going to move to the right-hand side of the card, toward the future, however unknown that is. So we have stillness, we have movement, we have victim, we have intention. The number 8 is always going to be about regeneration and getting creative movement back into our system. So even though the heaviness is very common between the two, this one moves ahead with maybe some heaviness but also some wisdom, and that's one interpretation of that Sun-Moon conjunction there. That my moon energy might say I have a heavy heart, but my sun energy wants to find expression or needs to find expression somewhere else. So I will take the initiative and extract myself from this so that maybe I can get a fuller expression in the future, off here to the right. You know, the Five of Cups essentially says, stand and figure it out. You know, stand in that pain, recognize what's been lost, feel your feelings, admit or acknowledge the hurt that you have. So in some, you know, it's a value judgment. I find this more difficult than this, but it does take a lot of strength, a lot of will, a lot of that red, to extract ourselves from a situation that we've emotionally invested ourselves in over a long period. So the sense of not really stuck, but the sense of being static and the sense of movement, the sense of thinking about the past versus the sense of thinking about the future, those are the essential ways. And let me just it's similar to the movement ahead, but we don't have any intention here. We just have heartache. So this one brings in that sense of will and intention. So those are the essential similarities but differences between those cards. You know, and if you get them together, you know, I would just say take your time to do this, but don't get too hung up here because the timing might be encouraging you to say, you know, I don't really want too much more of this. Maybe I have to seek satisfaction elsewhere. Okay, hope that's helpful. We'll see you next time.